Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Catch Up with Victoria. I am your humble host Victoria, and I'm welcoming you to another episode of Catch Up today. Guys, I'm more than excited to be here today. I just decided this episode has been a pending one. I've been thinking about making an episode like this, and a better time presented itself, and I decided let's go for it. So like you see from the title, the title of today's episode is The Silent Parenting and Things That Built My Character. So basically today I'll be talking about the things that my parents intentionally and unintentionally did that shaped me to be the person that I am today. You know, growing up, you start to reminisce, you start to look at your background, you start to look at the things that make you you. And I realized how much the kind of parenting my parents did, how wonderful parents they are, shaped me into the person that I am today. My parents are... I cannot even start to explain how grateful I am for them. You know, sometimes like when you start to, why I can never doubt God, one reason that I like to put on my list why I can never doubt God is because He created me, and He created me with parents like the ones, and He gave me the parents that I have. That cannot be a coincidence. It can never. That's the propaganda I'm not falling for. It can never be a coincidence that I ended up with the parents that I end up with, because I don't know what I would do without them. So I've been looking at my characters, I've been reminiscing, especially with my sister, and I'm starting to see the things that my parents did that shaped me into the person that I am. And so today I'll be sharing some of that. So the first thing on the list today I want to talk about is prayer. Prayer is the most essential thing about my life. It's something that I know that has shaped me to be the person I am today. My parents, I live it for them. If there's anything that my parents taught me, is how to view Christianity. So something my parents taught me was how to view Christianity not as a religion, but as a relationship. My mom would let us know that, okay, you don't go to church just because I said you should go to church. You're going to church because that's one of the ways that as Christians that we get closer to a community and we get closer to God. We are able to... Really, when I tell you that my dad used to make us fast and pray from as early as 9, even if it is like morning till 12 a.m. every Fridays, we used to fast. Honestly, I cannot even start to thank them for that, because that has built me to the person I am. Especially going into the university, you start to notice that you have a bedrock of prayer, you have a bedrock of knowing Christ, and I'm so grateful to that. My parents, most especially, I remember there was a season of my life where I and my dad used to go to mountains to pray. We used to fast, dry fasts for like 2 days straight. He just says, just keep seeking the name of the Lord. Even up to now, my dad sent us like Bible verses, prayer points. We go to churches at some point. We started going to two churches at some point. We used to go to RCG and then we go to MFM. My dad is now an MFM member, Philly. So we used to go between the two churches, just me and my sister. But then my mom, I remember when we were younger, you don't have an option of not going to church. Like, you don't have an option. Like, you either go to church or you go to church. We used to go to church as early as 6 a.m. If you're a Redeem member watching this, you do know how Redeem services go on Sundays. 6 a.m. ministers meeting, then you have workers meeting after, then you have Sunday school, then you have main service. And if your mother, like mine, is the one that does everything in church, that she's in this department, she's in this department, just know you're staying till like 2 hours again after service. So these were some of the things I saw, and I was like, oh, I wanted to embrace it. I was in church choir, I was in youth choir. When I came over, I started to look for how to like serve God, and I found joy in it. I was never sad, because my mom never made it look as if, oh, this is something that you have to do. She made it look, there's joy in this, there's joy in serving the Lord, and I'm more and more than grateful. Now I see the evidence of the prayers that I've prayed with my dad over the mountains, that even when he used to pray these prayers, they never made sense to me, because I'm like, Daddy, I'm just like 13, why am I praying these prayers? Like, but then he'll tell me, you're praying it so you don't have to understand why you're praying them. And I just go on and I'm just like, okay, God, I'm seeking your face. And honestly, I thank God. And that's one thing I think I'm going to inculcate to my children in the future. is the power of prayer and the power of a relationship with God. One of the things talking about relationship with God is that my parents made us read our Bibles a lot. We used to have these things where my dad would give us like memory verses to learn, even my mom, and then we'll stand in front of them and then we'll read them out. We used to do quizzes in church. We used to be the children that used to read memory verses on Sunday mornings. Honestly, I can't even thank them enough for that. Another thing I want to talk about is my education. This is one thing I know I have gotten a lot of applause from people, and I just tell them that, oh, this is the result of my parents. My parents were very involved in my education. When I tell you that I started to like get books from when I was like, before I could read, I had books that were at my disposal. My dad made sure to feed us with books, not just any kind of books, not the regular student books, like books that it was when I came back from the university that I saw some of these books. I'm like, oh, now I have this thing in use. My dad used to make us read everything and anything. Even when I was younger, everybody knew I wanted to become a doctor, obviously, but my dad used to buy books on earth, my dad used to buy books on astronomy, my dad used to buy books on commercials, on taxis. I read tax reforms. I read so many things as a child. My dad fed us with books. I read almost all of Shakespeare's books by the time I was 13. Honestly, I knew so much, like so many information, that when I used to say these things to my friends back then, they're like, okay. And I'm just excited because these are the things that my dad fed us with. We had encyclopedias. I can remember we had encyclopedias of A to Z. Like, that's how bad it was, that we did not even know what to do with these books. Sometimes we started to act, and I used to make my dad angry the way we mishandled this, because it's like, this is live, book is live, read it, just read it. I remember my dad used to make us read read books, especially the books that had to do with the things that are going on in the world. So I'm telling you, like, when I was 9, 8, I knew all the 50 states of America. I knew all the presidents of Nigeria from its inception to the time. I knew everything about geography, especially geography. I knew so much about geography that I actually wanted to know. Then I started to pick interest in geography. And then in education, my mom, I leave that one for her. My mom was so heavily invested in our education. My mom knew my teachers, my mom knew my HOD, my mom knew my principal. She had the closest relationships with my teachers. My mom was PTA vice chairman at one point. There is no single teacher that does not know my mom. That's how invested she was. She would come to the littlest of events. She would come to our PTA. She would come to everything, as little as nothing. My mom is in school. Best believe my mom is in school. She was involved in our assignments. When you have assignments, you ask. They did it for us, like, without no stress, even as much as they had their own jobs to shuffle, but they did. My dad we had lesson teachers from extra lessons. We had lesson teachers from, like, when I was in JSS1 to SS2. I had lesson teachers teaching us every Saturday and every after school. Those are some of the things that my parents made sure they did. My mom was especially, I think one time that I was even like, no. My mom was so invested in education that if she noticed the slightest things that could have effects on us, she changes our school. I remember when I was at primary school, and they are very, very intentional about the schools that we went to. Oh my God, they were so intentional. The school I went for nursery and primary school, my mom, what happened was I decided to change teachers, and my mom started to notice the behavior. Can you imagine how good somebody has to be to notice the behavioral changes in your children? And then she's like, did they change your teacher? I'm like, yes, Miss Victoria is no longer my teacher. That was the day my mom changed my school, when she found out that the school started to change teachers numerously. And then the different methods of teachers started to take toll on me and my sister. My mom changed our school. The school I went for primary school, I think when we started to go, Joy started, that's my younger sister, started to say vulgar words. She started to say things in the other language or that is predominant in where we lived that time. They started to say it, and my mom was like, no, this is not going to happen in my house. And then she changed us to another school. And the school where I graduated from, my mom was heavily invested in that school. My dad would ask me questions about, okay, what club are you joining? I was in debate club. I was in English and literary club. I brought down their words, darling. I remember when we used to have debate competitions, my parents would stay up all night with me and then make me, and when I try to tell it to them, they correct me, they tell me what to do. when I talk about public speaking today, I leave it for my parents. I am so good at public speaking today. I leave it to my parents because we practice in the living room. Our living room was literally where you'd practice. So my parents would tell you, okay, oh yeah, let me hear what you have to say. My mom would tell you how to stand, how to move, and my dad is telling you this use of English is bad, use is better English. It would give you your phone to watch videos about debaters. Really, really. As little as an accent, sometimes when people ask, oh, how did you get an accent? Although the primary school I went to was a British Nigerian school, so I kind of learned a little from that. But my mom, another thing I would like to talk about was like the behavior, how would I put this? My behavior, basically. So my parents were avid believers of the fact that you have to be up and doing in your behavior. It's one thing to know God, like my mom will say, it's one thing to know God, it's another thing to reflect Christ in you. So my mom was very particular about how you acted outside. Hi, God. This one, I collected a lot of beatings. I collected a lot of insults from my mom because she just wanted us to be better in behaviors, how to be nice to people, how to be cautious to people, how to be nice to people that look as though they are like less privileged. So my mom will never allow you to look down on anybody. You're looking down on who? Who are you looking down on? You are the same thing with that person. She constantly remind us that the only difference is that you're sitting in your car and the person not sitting in their car, and you never know what destiny can bring for them. My dad was like the nicest person I know. I saw my dad did some things that we go back and see, then I'm like, why is this man doing these things for these people? And I think even as much as I used to condemn what he used to do, I saw so much of myself doing those things that I started to emulate him. I started to be, because like we can have like, I remember some Christmas where we'd buy like bags of rice that time, and then they'll probably like be like 2 bags of rice or 3 bags of rice, and my dad would carry like 1.5 and share to people, and they were like, that doesn't even make any sense, like why are you doing that? And then you just explain to us that like you don't have to everything you collect, you don't have to have all of it to yourself. You have to open some hands to some people. And like that's some of the things that like, even if they were passing things that happened, they later had impact on me and how I acted with people, how I was acted with people around me, both those that felt like they were in my same status quo or below my status quo. I just knew how to treat people. Another part of behavior that my mom taught us was how to carry yourself as a woman. My mom taught us to be sophisticated ladies. Oh, backstory. We are 5 girls. I come from a family of 7. I don't know how I forgot to mention that. I come from a family of 7 and we are 5 girls, then my dad and my mom. My mom made sure we learned, especially me and my immediate younger sister, how to be sophisticated women. So when I'm talking about how my mom taught us poise and character, etiquettes, my mom taught us how to use cutleries. My mom taught us how to speak better. My mom taught us how to carry ourselves. You would never find us outside. There's certain things that you would find children of our age doing at that point. You would never find me and especially my immediate sister doing. You would never. One example of those things is in parties. When we go out for parties, you will never find us roaming about. We were always seated with our legs crossed. You would never see us eat outside. You would never see us struggling for food. You would never, so many things that my mom taught us that like grace and elegance. I know that I have thrown some of that away. I am now a I don't care woman, but that one I leave it for my mom. My mom taught us how to be elegant, how to use phonetics. We had a lesson teacher that literally taught us phonetics. My mom paid extra so that they could teach us phonetics and how to talk better. So my mom gave me self-esteem. If you think my self-esteem is on the roof like this, wait till you meet my mother. She told us that we were the best. Like, she literally inculcated it in our head that there was nothing better than us. Like, there was nobody better than us, that it was just us and us, and we should act like it. So my mom will literally, even in the midnight, she's like, you don't walk like that. You walk like this. You walk like that. I'm like, God, can you stop? Because my sister, especially Joy, used to have like tomboyish attitude. My mom removed that thing from her body. She removed it from her. And like, till now, that's something I'm grateful for, because even when I go outside, I know that the poise I carry is not any kind of poise. The way I talk, I'm not even trying to brag, but like, clock it. So another thing I'm going to another thing I think was very essential. I think this one was very essential. I'm still very grateful that my parents taught us was love. Love. My mom would always say that your first friends are your sisters, your best friends are your sisters, the best people you will have around you are your sisters. Even as much as me and especially my major sister Joy used to fight, we used to like not fight as like exchanging of verbal words, so we used to punch each other, beat each other at the most minor things. My mom would just sit down, she would look at us. When we are done, she would give us the beatings of our lives. Jesus Christ. One thing, as much as all of this is perfect, one thing I think that I learned from my parent that I would not pass on to my children is beatings. That's my mom. My dad hardly beat us. My dad hardly beat us. So like my mom, I'm not gonna beat my children like that, but like my mom would beat us. I remember one time I and Joy, that's my major sister, we fought from school. My mom did not say a word. When I say a word, she did not even say stop it or you guys stop fighting or something. She allowed us fight, and trust me and Joy, we would carry that fight till any of us is satisfied. Then we went home, we continued the fight for about 15 minutes. We didn't do any of our house chores. We didn't even pull off our uniforms. I think we were really upset that day at something that Joy did in school, and I tried trying to scold her for it, and then she was not listening, and me too, I was using my ego as elder sister on her. So when we got home, my mom just looked at us. She said the only thing she muted was Ewa Jion, like come and eat. And that's another thing my parents taught us, is that they've never punished us with food. So when I hear that some people punish their children, I'm like, there's no gravity of anything we want to do. No matter whatever happened, like come home, come and eat. My parents never punished us before. So back to the story, my mom was like, come and eat. We didn't even hear her when she said come and eat. So when we finished, we just went inside the house with tears and we were crying and stuff. She just locked the door behind us and gave us the beating of our life. God, my mom beat us so bad that, and guess what she did after? She asked both of us to sit down together and eat our food. So that's one thing my mom did, was that we ate together till we left home, basically, till we had to go to university. Even when I was at SS3, while I had not gone to school, I was still at home. I used to eat with Joy and my third sister. So we used to do it in group of threes. Okay, we're four before, in group of twos before. We're four before our last born. Our last born came later on. So two people ate together, like you would eat. Even sometimes, I feel like sometimes we even ate together, all of us. 5 of us. So there's nothing like, oh, it's time for dinner and one person is saying, oh, I'm doing something, oh, I'm doing another thing. No, people will eat together from the same plate. That's what you guys are going to do. And that thing preached so much love amongst us was the fact that like we were not even able to hold things against each other or hold things from each other. Like you cannot. You're in the same house. You people will talk. You just have to be. We were in each other's faces every time. Everybody had rooms, or you can go to the room and stay, but like we were in each other's faces every single time. My mom used to do these picnics. I recently remember when I was in secondary school, my mom used to have these picnics on Fridays where she would buy like she would make pepper soup, and then she would buy our favorite drinks individually and chocolate. And I think she used to get, there was something one particular thing she used to buy at that time, I can't quite remember. And then we'll sit down and everybody will hear at their grievances. You talk about the things that so person did that you did not like. She'll ask to say 4 things you like about your sister and 5 things you don't like about your sister. And that was when all of us would talk about it. This is what I did not like what you did to me in school that day, and this, and that was how like we bonded over time. In my house, there's nothing like you're going to your room to go and sleep, or everybody's in the room talking, or everybody's in the room talking and you are on your own doing what? They are going to drag you into that discussion. I remember even sometimes when my dad used to work late into the night, he would still like stay with us till like 12 a.m. sometimes. We would be talking, everybody would be gisting about what happened in school, everybody would talk about the things that their teachers rather did. Even when I came back from university and I wanted to be doing, or I wanted some alone time where I would go to stay in the room, my dad would come inside the room. Are you okay? Like, why are you inside the room? My mom, my own, is violent. She would tell them to go and tell me to leave the room. I should stop acting like I'm depressed and come and talk to us in the living room. That's how it was. And then even until university, when I go home, I know after now when I'm going home, I'm going to go and download everything that happened from the first day I stepped into school to the last day I left. I'm going to say everything to them. I'm going to tell them about all my friends. Like, they literally knew so much about us, and that I'm so grateful. It's because my sisters, there's nothing about my sister I don't know. There's nothing about me that my sisters would not know, and that's just so beautiful. So some other minor things that I think my parents did was that they never ever groomed us to, as much as we were women, they never ever groomed us to fit into the societal things about girls. That's why sometimes when I say I'm a feminist, and where it comes from my parents, especially my dad. My dad never spoke about marriage to us, about men. I did not even know men, anything like men, me and men had existed at all. Because my dad would never say, married, when you get married, or you're doing this for a man or your children. My dad never mentioned it. And even if he never mentioned it, it's easy for someone not to take his side, but my dad took his side though. Because I remember one time my younger sister dressed like really nicely, and then she was just like playing with her hair and stuff, and I remember I asked her, are you looking for husband? The eye my dad gave me, if you're a Yoruba person, you know the kind of eye contact that somebody will give you, that for the rest of your life you will never say anything about that topic. That was what my dad looked at me. I was like, what kind of rubbish did you just mute that from your mouth? So those are some of the things. Even sometimes people used to make this subtle comment of how my dad had 5 girls and all of us to leave him sometimes, how like he doesn't have a male child. I remember one time someone told my dad that he should try again for a male child. Do you know, even when we wanted our last child, when my mom was like pregnant for our last child, my mom was the one that was like, oh, I wanted a male child, I wanted she would cry. My dad never said anything about how he wanted the child to be a male child. He never mentioned it. And even when we went to the hospital after my mom had given birth, and then they told him the gender of the child, he laughed, he just smiled, and it was like he was like, oh, thank you, Jesus, and that was it. My mom was the one that carried it on her head. So my parents never made it feel as though being a woman was less of anything. Never. As much as I even remember, I did everything that a man would do in the house or a woman would do. Like, my dad taught us how to turn on the gen, how to carry the gen out, how to wash the car, how to change the bulb, how to change the fuse, how to turn on the television. I know how to fix things, electrical things. Like, I'm grateful to them. I'm not ever gonna lie, I'm grateful to them. Another thing I think my parents taught us was we never knew how to like be outside. Like, there was the question of outside. I don't like parties. I don't like going outside because of my parents. I don't know if this one is a good thing or a bad thing. Was that my parents never allowed us to visit people. The only time we were allowed to visit people were like during Christmas or New Year or special occasions. You will never go out and say you jam any of us outside or you meet. So one last thing I know my parents taught us was contentment. See, my dad will tell you, even as much as growing up, I would say I was born with a silver spoon growing up. Like, we had everything we wanted. My dad still made us believe that, look, you should be contented with what you have. I remember growing up, I badly wanted an iPhone. I would beg my dad for an iPhone. I wanted to use an iPhone, especially when they had just come at that time. My dad would tell me, no, you just want this because your peers have it, your friends have it. And he would not allow me. My mom would not allow me. My mom taught us that what you had was enough. Like, we couldn't get gifts outside. You could not say, oh, this person gave me this thing in school. You were not allowed to take things from people. Like, even when you go to school, you were not allowed to like eat from other people's foods. You can't gift me a gift and I'll take it home and tell them that it's for what, except if it was a birthday gift. You will not tell me that. I remember even when I had left home when I was in ABU, I think I got trousers. Like, okay, my friend went shopping and then one of the trousers were not her size, and then she was like, oh, Vicky, I think this will suit you. And I wore it and took a picture. My mom literally called my dad. Oh, my dad literally called my mom to ask me where I saw the trouser that I was wearing. Like, they knew everything we had by name. So you have to be contented. That's even today. Like, you have to be. You cannot. My eye can never be with what somebody has. Nah, no, because that's not how my parents taught me. So, anyways, I think that these are some of the things that I would inculcate to my children. So, their future husband. These are the things. Some of these things we have to teach our children. Child. I don't know, whatever. But really, I am grateful to my parents. I am really, really grateful to them. And this is a shout out to them. Mommy and Daddy, I love you so much. And thank you for everything you've done for I. and my sisters. I love you guys so much. So till another episode, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment.